my name is Kelly Bluen. I am a certified Zentangle teacher. Welcome to 15 Minutes of Zen. In these videos, I show you how to make one tangle using the Zentangle method of drawing. Today I'm using a Micron pen. This one is a PN plastic nib. Any fine line pen will work. I'm also using a graphite pencil for some drawing and shading and a little blending tool called a tortillon. I'm using a 2-inch by 2-inch tile called the Bijou tile, and these are available at Zentangle.com. My tangle today is called Alea, and it was made by this person. Okay, so to make Alea, we're going to make it today in a grid, which means we need to draw a square and divide it up. So I'm going to put a little dot in each of the 4 corners, and I'm going to connect those with a pretty straight line. And I'm just creating this little frame for our work. And we also want to divide this in half, horizontally and vertically. We're doing it on a pencil so that you can adjust it as needed. Okay, if you like where it's at, let's pick up our pen and we're just going to go right over these lines and ink them in. There we go. And I'm going to pick up my pencil again, and this is just, this is unnecessary, but it helps me put the pattern in better. So I'm going to just put an X across both of those ways so that each box is divided in half. That's just going to help me place my pattern. Okay, so to make Alea, you only need one of these areas. We're going to make it 4 times, but the tangle is really just one of them. Okay, so we're going to take this box over here and we're going to put in a heart shape that's going to take up about half of this tile, kind of the bottom half. So if you want to put a little reminder in there, a little notch, so you know where the halfway mark is, you can. And I'm going to do it in pencil first, and I'm just going to go up the side. I'm going to imagine this point here is the bottom of my heart. I'm going to go up the side and curve in. Up the side and curve in. So you got a nice, big, wide heart. I'm going to go ahead and do that in each of the 4 boxes. I like to turn my tile as I go. I can mark that middle if I want to. Go up the side and in. Mark that middle. It doesn't have to be perfectly in the middle. It just helps you keep these little hearts about a similar size. You're doing it in pencil, so feel free to change your lines if you need to. It looks cool already. All right, I'm going to pick up my pen now, and I'm going to ink in that heart. So I'm going to go to this first one. I'm going to go right up the side and curve over. But now, when I get to that center, I'm going to add this little U shape. So just a little curve. So I go up this side, come over, and then I do a little U shape this way. Do my next one. And I go down a little bit before I add that little U shape. I want some space in here because we're going to put in some more lines in. Go up the side and add this little U. I'll go ahead and show you the next step before I do the other two. So once I have this little U in, I'm going to put a tiny little cap on it, little bump, and I'm going to aura, or go alongside that inside line. Then I'm going to stop here and go this way. And put on that little top. So we end up with this little outlined heart. So over here I can put on that little top. And then I just follow that inside. Follow the inside and put on that little top. And turn and keep going. Putting in those little U shapes. And then putting an aura on the inside. Take as long as you need for this part. Feel free to stop the video. A little top and an aura. There we go. Again, you only need one of these. And I thought about doing this whole square with just one, but I wanted to show you how it looks when you put a few of them together. Okay, now we have these little heart shapes. We're going to put in orbs or circles at the top of each of these. Then I'm going to put in another tiny little circle for a reflection, and I'm going to color in the rest of that. Little reflection and color it in. Looking good. Okay, so now for this next part, I'm going to turn mine. So we're looking at this one right here. And now I'm going to do this little shape. Maybe I'll do it in pencil first, just so you can kind of get the hang of it. But we're going to put in this petal shape. So I'm going to dip down a little and back up. And then curve down to meet this corner. So I dip down a little, up, and then back down. On this side over here, I start at that corner. I dip down and back up, and then curve until I meet that down there. See how it makes kind of this leaf shape or this petal shape? I'm going to go ahead and do that on all of those. Start at the top corner. I dip down, up, and curve down. Down, up, and curve down. Last one. And then I'm going to ink in these outer areas. I love inking in these outer areas. It makes it look so bold. So when we're done with this, I hope that you look up this tangle online. As with all of our tangles, there are so many variations, and this one is no exception. There are unlimited things that you can do in this area over here. And even in this area that I'm darkening, there's some fun ideas. So in my videos, I usually only show you one way, just so we can get it done in the 15 minutes and not have to think too hard. But this one had a lot of nice variations. And I know I say this each video, but each of these patterns is meant to be a starting point, and you can change it as much as you want. Okay, I have those inked in. We've only got a few more minutes. So at each of these little orbs, I'm going to start by putting this little petal, let me show you, like that. So it doesn't quite touch, although it could if you wanted it to. And it just goes a little bit wide, close to the top. And then I'm going to do one on the side over here and over here, and then in between each of those. And you can see where there are so many variations. You could outline this orb and put in different petals. You could fill in this whole piece there. There's lots of ideas. This is the basic Alea. And then down here, I'm going to put a line where that pencil line was. Then I'm just going to add some more striping all the way down on both sides. And there are many ways that you could fill in that heart if you wanted to as well. Okay, so I'm going up here to this one. And I'm going to start by putting in that tall little petal. One on each side. And one in each center. And I'm going to fill this in with stripes or lines. Each of these little petals, I'm going out as far as I can without touching the edge. And draw the lines. My last one. And you can go back and erase the lines that you've made, but I usually just leave mine in there. It doesn't bother me that I've got some lines that I made that I didn't use. Add my stripes. There we go. I don't even remember which way is the top. Okay, I do like to add an extra little border around the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to initial my work and then do some shading. So shading just changes the dynamic of your tangle and gives it some depth and some character. So I'm going to put my initials over here. And then I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to go on the inside edge of these hearts. Just putting a little tiny bit. All around that inside edge. And what that's going to do is going to push that striped area towards the back. Take my blending tool, push that out towards the center. This lighting isn't the best, but you can see where you're getting a little bit of a shadow in there. We're always blending it away from the line that we added the shading, so towards that center. Okay. My 15-minute videos truly used to be 15 minutes. They're getting a little bit longer now. Then I'm going to very quickly just go on the outside edge of each of these little petals. And then I'm going to push that out a little bit. And that just gives those a little bit of a shadow. I don't know why this light, it's almost like the light is too bright. It's hard to see those shadows. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to all of them. I'll push down a little bit harder and see if that shows up any better. So if you didn't want to do the outside of these, you could just darken the inside of them. I kind of like this look. See if I can change my lighting, if that will matter. Not really. Okay. Just going to soften those edges. Just allowing those little white areas to sort of pop off the page a little bit. And there we go. That is Alea. You can see how it would be beautiful by itself. It's also beautiful as a grid. Thank you so much for joining me. Please remember to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already. Liking and subscribing helps me get this video out to more people. And if you want to follow me on Facebook at Let's Tangle, you can share your work. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.